then everybody, hope you are well. Welcome back to a new little video. I've got my hands full heading down to where Rhonda is. We've got some stop-offs along the way because we need to go and get some little things like Jubilee clips and little build stuff that we need to get on the car. But yeah, let's go. Bit of a cooler day today, so we're not going to be sweating as much, hopefully. So let's go. So the first place we're going to is somewhere like Euro Car Parts to get us a little exhaust gasket, like a little tin foil brush gasket. You've probably seen them before. So we're heading there. Then we need to go to, I think, Thomas Graham to go and get some threaded bar and some dome-head nuts to hold the rear tank guard on. Then I need to go to either tool station or screw fix. Foam rubber, need to get some of that. So rather than bonding the rear windows in, this time I'm going to go clean it all up. All the silicone and everything that's on there at the minute, I'm going to clean all that up, and we're going to put foam rubber around, and we're going to stick some foam rubber in, so it's a lot easier to get the windows out in future. So it'll be a bit easier for access and less likely to crack the windows if you ever need to take them out. So that's
the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything.
Well, that was a successful little trip. Hardware, so we've got dome nuts for the tank guard, mud flat washers, got some nice new stainless hex nuts, what you call them, Allen head bolts for the seats, and a kind of gloss paint. So ticking off the list. On to the next, let's go. Another successful one. That's the foam rubber back windows. Pack of threaded bar. Job to good in. On to the next. I tell you what, we're doing really well. Step drill set. Happy days. Just got that from Tool Station. That's for the fuel lines. To go into the fuel tank, I need to core out a little bit, so that will help no end. I tell you what, we're on the right win. So this is the exhaust springs, needed some of them, and this weird crush washer tin foil thing. So nearly a full house. Just have to home bag and to get a drinks bottle now, and holders and a few other little bits that we might need. So yeah, let's crack on. Full house. I'm loving it. Everywhere we've been, everything in stock. That never happens to me. Ever. Let's do. Who's ever been in home bags has only bought the only thing that they went in for. Nope. Told you. See? Told you. Well, almost got everything, didn't we? Just missing those two bottles and a bottle holder to go in the navigator's footwell. I needed those so I know where to put the fire bottle when I fit them. But not to worry, I'll get them ordered. Things well, not list. Copper washers for the pedal box. I want to put only copper washers on the brake lines just so peace of mind, job done. And a fuel hose clip for a Jubilee clip for the fuel filler. I need to get a new one then. But yeah, job to go in. Got quite a lot of stuff, and we can crack on now. So let's head back to Rhonda via the petrol station because I need some diesel in this thing. And then yeah, we'll take it from there. Oh, by the way, just so you know, the Ash Green Mars bars are for Steve and Kaz. I am on a diet, and I have lost since, well, this year, so since sort of like February, March, April. From then till now, I think I'm about 2.5 stone down. Still got a bit to go, don't get me wrong, but we're going in the right direction. It's been a long time coming, I know. I've got a fire suit to get into, so I'm very aware of that. And I've only got sort of like a month to go till the first rally, which is prom rally. So, yeah. I'm still on it. I'm well on the bandwagon. Eating well, so feeling good. Let's go. Well, that's a win. So that's for fuel filler jobby. Saw these as well, and I did think about buying a whole box of copper washers, but I couldn't get the right size, so we'll crack on. Here we are, back in garage. So what I've just been doing is drilling the rivets out of these. Got a little bit of, it's called, is it wax oil? Just to stop these little bits going a bit rusty, just in the holes. That's where the wheel arch goes on anyway. And then drilling out the rivets on these. Yesterday, took the windows out, ready for a polish. They're just down there. So I'll get them onto a towel and give them a machine polish. Seems the back of the car looks all nice and new now. So next on the list is just going to put these arches on. Did try and get this new Jubilee clip onto there. I've bought the wrong size, so that's going to have to go back into it. But what else have I just done? I've ordered some new number plates because that's got a crack in it there. Looks a bit second-hand. Just stuff to tidy it up. Also just ordered some drinks bottles. It'll sit down here somewhere out of the way of the fire bottles. So I think there's going to be sort of like one bottle there. I don't know if I'm going to put it there or back here somewhere. Depends how much actual like fire hose we've got left. But yeah, we'll crack on. We'll get these rear arches on. Try and get just stuff out the way of this pile. So I'll just keep bolting stuff on. There's an anti-roll bar here to go back on as well. So I'll put that on again in a minute as well. Let's go. There we go. Back to how she was. Lovely. Next up, 2 threaded bars. And then I'll just stick some washers on them. They make their way down. And then these are going to go straight through here, straight through the boot floor. Sit like that. Turn like that. You're probably wondering what that does. Well, they actually protrude out to there. Then they get buzzed off and they get a nice donut put on the end of them. And that actually holds the tank guard on, which is over there. So might not do that just right now, but I'll put those bolts in just so they don't get lost. And jobs are done. So let's move on. So out of the pile of things that needs to go on, let's start with this. So we'll put these brake lines in and we'll loosely fit this all up so that's back in the car. Might be a bit tricky getting this back on. That is, it bolts through to the gearbox tunnel. So I've got a funny, I want to swap these anyway because they're not the best bit of hardware. So we'll try and get it back in though without scruffing all the paintwork up. And at least something else is back in car then. There is copper washers like I was saying on here to swap. There's no fluid in anything at the minute. So I will come back to this once it's in the car and replace all the copper washers and everything. But let's get it back in. It's not particularly the easiest thing in the world to... You leave there, and then this T comes along here. And we have a left and a right. So that will go back onto... let me think. Yeah, I've got a feeling that one went under there like that. So you come back around I think like that. And then that. Or was this? I think that's the way it was supposed to go because that's pointing down. And then this one's pointing down also. So that gets done up. Ooh, I think I'll put a washer on that. Don't like tightening that up like that. That goes on there, and then once this is in place, how does this go? How does this go then? I think it goes like that. But yeah, we'll figure it out. Okay, so got that mounted in. That's securely back in place now, and then we got all these in. Just put the rubber boots back on here so no water comes in. I'm just looking in the boxing now for this mounting thing that these hook onto. Then put the original factory handbrake back on in this location here. Then I'm looking for sort of like intercom that goes up there, GoPro stuff, then this wiring and the map light and everything that can go back up there. And then what else? I'm going to start, hopefully today, take that fuel tank top off and then start getting ready for making fuel lines. So we'll continue. So this is what I've found. So that's the intercom there, GoPro, rear light. This is the box out of the car. So that is the earth cable, tow strap to go back in the boot, and another tow strap, you know, because we need two. This is part of the fuel line assembly. I don't really need anything else off it. I just need that fitting there, because this is part of a two-part fitting, and it is a fuel sampling section, and the other part of it is here. This piece of pipe has to be in the car at all times. That clicks on to that, and if anybody needs to do a fuel sampling at any one time, this is what I'm looking for. So looking a bit scratched, so I will put a little bit of a coat of paint on. These two things are in the back of the car to blank off those three-way damper holes that we had on the car once. That's the spare wheel strap, so that will go back in a minute. And then this is what I'm actually looking for, is for the handbrake things. That's to go back in the car also, which is a glass smash thing. Even though all the plastic windows are all plastic, all the windows are plastic. That's a long bolt. That's quite handy because I could use that along with this other one just here. Probably to remount that Willwood thing with some rib nuts down there. Nice one. Right, I'll just continue on. Happy days. It is a little bit cooler today, but it's still warm. But it's quite nice that everything goes back in the car, so it's not a build from scratch. So it seems to be going back together quite quickly. If I can get all this stuff bolted on with that rear anti-roll bar and stuff today, I'll be pretty chuffed. I'm not going to start with the wiring from the centre console just yet. That's going to be another day, because I probably need two people here to do that. Nothing's labelled in that bird nest, so I've bought a labelling machine. I'm going to label all the relays, label all the fuses as well. So yeah, I'll do that with Steve or one day when he's here. Looks a bit of a mess on top of the car in a minute. Door cards and then some like door handles and stuff. That's for once these are polished up. So that's on the list of stuff to do as well. But yeah, now moving on nicely. I've ordered some drinks bottles, so they'll be here soon. I won't mount the fire extinguishers yet until they're here, because it's going to get a bit busy in that navigator's footwell. And Katie, our navigator, has got some requirements. So in terms of where the bag goes, mobile phone holder, need to sort that out. I need to make one of them as well. But yeah, we're getting somewhere. Nice progress. Just looking around Steve's garage. Quite a few legs tours that he's been on. Probably in with his dad as well. Quite a nice little clock here that he's got too. Happy days. So, where are we up to? Just got this brake line sorted there. Got that threaded in. Got all the handbrake and everything in now. I think next job is to take off this fuel hat and start having a look at some fuel line fittings. So this is the 10mm nuts that hold this on. Just buzz them off. Try not to lose them. And then this lifts up, and then there's a bit of a weird way you got to turn it at the same time. Let's not get any fuel on the new paint. Okay, over on the bench now, we can have a bit better look at it. So there's the electrical connector, and then we've got a, let's see. So this one is the return, and this is looking like the send unit, because you can see there the fuel line is onto the pump. The return, it just comes into there and then out of that little pipe there. That pushes back down into the tank, and then so what we'll do is disconnect what we can disconnect, and I will be back with you in 1 second. Okay, so fuel pump, managed to get that out. That's so that'll leave that there. And so, like I said, we're going to buzz those two off. It's going to be quite tight for room, but I think still doable. Still got a bit of room in here to do it. So we've got quite a big plate there. So if I hard to point at the same time, if I make my hole to that side of this, it'll hog that out. And then same again with that. This one doesn't really matter that much. It can kind of be anywhere as long as I hog it out and it's in the right sort of ballpark. That's just putting fuel back into the tank down by, see that little brass tube that's there. So yeah, if I can cut that off and then basically come straight down with that, that won't really matter for the return. So right, let's get to it. Okay, so we've got this far. So we've got some fuel fittings here. I'm just trying to cut my way through these two little brass pipes, and it's proving a bit difficult. I do have a little angle grinder, like a Dremel bit thing here, but I've no Dremel cutting section bit, so I'm just going to go nip and grab some back in a tick. We're back. So nipped out bit and bobs and drill bits, proper full set, and this little bad boy from Argos. Went to Screwfix, went to Tool Station. They don't do anything like this. Don't say it's going to be the best kit in the world, but if it's got some rotary bits, it'll help us out with this effort. For 14 quid, and we've got 145 pieces to go out, so let's crack on. That's what we needed. Look at that. I'm quite impressed with that. So here we are. I've put that little pipe on the fuel pump there. So here we are. Managed to bore two nice holes in there, smooth out the bottom as well. This pipe here will not be in use anymore, this one here. And then it's just going to come straight out of these two holes there. And then, yeah, I'll just show you what it's like with the fittings in. Okay, so it hasn't worked out exactly what I wanted. So what I maybe should have done is this should have been a double bulkhead fitting, but it's not to panic. We can still do it. So that is a nice fit on there. As you can see, the bottom of there, it's got like a little indentation. We'll just slide it out there. So it has got a step. It's back hard seeing with it being black focus. Can you see that step there? So that sits nice on there. What I want to do is put a metal washer on this side, and then it'll give us some thread to put a locking nut at the top. So if you can imagine, oops, try and get this in. Not an easy thing to do when you're holding a camera and everything at the same time. So that'll go like that. That'll go on there. Line Mr. Nut on. That goes on there, alright. Obviously too tight, but if I just carry on tightening that, that'll just be, so I'd rather put a metal washer on the back of that nylon one, then that'll all be nice and sealed up and fixed in and looking like a new one. Look at that. And then on the back of here, I've got a barb fitting. which is this little badger. So that screws onto here, like so, and then that to the fuel pump. So obviously that bit going to there. So I'll build it all up and then I'll show you the finished product. So this is what I've come up with. A really nice tight fit in there. I've just edged up with it with the grinder, with the rotary bit. I put a flat on the side of that washer there. I'll show you why. And there we have it. So that's where that flat sits, just in there, like that. Happy days. Right, here we go. So we've got it all back together now. So we've got two AN-6 lines coming out the top there with those nylon washers, and then we've got nylon washers on the other side as well with some metal washers sandwiched between. I wasn't happy about putting nylon washers against the AN fittings. And then just down here we've got a nice little bit of short pipe, new pipe in there. I'm not happy with this clamp here though, so I've got a nice fuel jubilee in there, so I will swap that one in there. But yeah, all done. Need a few zip ties around the pump because that's just waddling in the wind, but all in, all done. Now then everybody, new day, new shirt, and the camera died on the last one, so I do apologise to Steve because the carriage is a right mess in a minute, and I'm just tidying up these rear quarter windows with a bit of paint. So we took these out the other night, so just going around the edges here with a bit of white paint and tidying that up. So ready for some foam rubber on there, and then I'm only just doing a little bit by hand, and then so there's no overspray going into the cage, and then yeah, I'll get them riveted on. So just drop my brush. That's nice, isn't it? So yeah, the back quarters need a bit of a polish and whatnot, as do the side windows. So I need to get onto that. But I'll show you this fuel pump. That's all gone back in nice. So just there. That's all got those pointing in the right direction. I've got a top hat for it, which is, I do need to cut some holes in it, and just painted that. That's there, all ready to go back on, nice and shiny and black. But like I say, I do need to bore some holes into that, and I do have some like rubber grommets that will go around the pipe, so it'll all be nicely sealed off in the case of any fuel leakages. Hopefully no more fuel leakages ever again. But yeah, next on the list, like I say, just tidying up these back painting bits. I think that's the last bit to paint on the car with a bit of luck. I think the front bumper needs touching up a little bit because it's a little bit scabby and whatnot, but I've tidied up these back windows the other night with this little bad boy that Steve kindly borrowed to me. It's like a little brass wheel, not too harsh on the paint, and gets all the silicone off. So we'll crack on. So next job that I've just been on with, I'll show you this in the car. So these rear quarter panels, they have condensation they sit on them, and it drips down to the bottom there, and you end up rotting out. I've done both sides, so you can see it's black over there now. And done it with this stuff. This is underbody seal with added dinosaurs. So give it a go. Stop the water staying where it shouldn't. So on to the next little job. Right, just humming and ahhing what to do now. Just waiting for that to dry. I think I might try crack on and have a go at these fuel lines. So I've got the pump back in. I think the first port of call will be to fit the bulkhead fitting in at the front of the car where the firewall is, and work my way back so I can neatly put them in with some nice little tiny cable ties, along with the power for the battery, because the battery is going back in the same location, I've decided. And so, yeah, what I'll do, and then I'll work back to the fuel tank, cut it to however long I need it, which should be nice and neat then, shouldn't it? So, and then in the engine bay, I can do that. That's a lot easier. So yeah, I think that's next job. Let's have a go. So here we are. We've got all the fuel fittings and everything that we need to go onto the car, including this PTFE line here. Right, so what have we got? We've got a fuel filter there, and then we've got all the straight fittings up there that obviously go onto the fuel filter. 2 bulkhead fittings, straight fitting on each one, and then that's the to go onto the what do you call it? The fuel. What do you call it? Fuel rail. That's the one. Oh, it's been a long day. 2 little copper washers. There is a castle washer on the car as well, so that does need to be added too. These 2 are -8 down to -6 because I've already got the fuel sampling kit. That's what that's for, so it'll be all in line. And again, like I say, straight connector. These are some locking nuts for the bulkhead fittings, and then this one, which I have. So I've got all this stuff from a company called Torx on eBay. Very good company, very nice stuff. As you can see, all in black. That's the name of the company there. As you can see, it's called Torx, Torques. This is a click-on bulkhead fitting type thing. You know what I mean, for the standard sort of thing. I found that this does not fit Ronda. It did say 4 Hondas, so I'm trying to get it onto the original factory fuel pressure regulator. So I want to run that, and I was thinking it'd just go on there and go click, but it literally, it's way too big. I think it's supposed to catch on this little bump here, and it doesn't. So I've just sent them an email with all the pictures. So hopefully they will get back to me. They are very good at replying and responding. Like I say, I bought the whole fuel system for the car off those guys. The quality of the stuff is really good, to be fair. That's what we put on the fuel on the fuel pump. So that's what I've just built that with. And like I say, so this is braided Teflon PTFE lines, and it's it's got this nice black finish to it. So I'm quite impressed with that. It's quite nice. So what I'll do now is try and get some bulkhead fittings into the firewall, and then run that first piece of line. So that's fitting number 1 complete. So we've got that on there. Bit tricky with this black stuff on, and I haven't got an AN tool, so it just scratch like mad, but I'm not really too bothered. So that's a nice little spinner now to go on the bulkhead fitting that we've just fitted. Steve and me just just down here we've got these you can't really see right lot down here, can you? Oh, there we go. Got these bulkhead fittings. So one's coming up here to the fuel pressure regulator once we get the right fitting for that, and then the other one is coming straight up, and then it'll have the fuel sampling kit come up and around, and then onto the fuel filter, out the fuel filter, and then down here into the fuel rail. So job's a good one. That was pretty hard work with this stuff on. I'm not sure if you're supposed to cut that off where your fitting goes. Probably are, and there's me been struggling with it, but oh well. 1 on. Right, take 2 on this fuel line saga. So just cut the outer sheathing off. That's just there, and then I'll see if this is a little bit easier. I think it will be, to be fair, because it was proper tight to get that end off and down here, so I had to use a bit of this WD, but I've got a funny feeling this is the way you're supposed to do it, so crack on. So I don't know if anybody obviously made these before, but that's so you put that bit on first, and then once you've got that on there, a bit near the camera that, wasn't it? There's like a little olive, so that goes around the white plastic PTFE bit. This is really difficult. Should have brought my tripod. Bear with me. So that goes onto there, like so. And then once that is on there, you give it a right good push against your workbench. You make sure that the white plastic is seated right to the top of the olive. Give another little push, can't do any harm, can it? And then that allows this little jobby to sit in. So this bit goes, I'll try and do it this way, just bear with. So that goes into there, bear with. There we go, like that. Can't do it with two hands in a camera. So that goes on there like so. So you push that right up to that olive. Yeah, nice and tight. And then what you do is you pull this back up here over your barbs and then just screw that in nice. And then that's it, that's one done. Happy days. And then once you do tighten them down, obviously I've mismeasured a little bit here, but you're trying to make those two, this one and this one, as tight as possible, because that's a spinner. So what I'm going to have to do is measure the bit that I cut off to the bit that's showing left, and then that'll be my mark as to what these fittings are. So, but yeah, quite straightforward, quite a nice therapeutic job to do really, but happy days. So we've got those two lines in the car tonight. It's quite dark in here, so I'll stick this light on for you. Look at that paint. That is some sparkly stuff, isn't it? So wiring, ignore that for now, because that's all going to get sorted out. So we've got it attached to the bulkhead fittings coming down here. Like I say, these little clips here will be put on like that with a nice zip tie around, with this red cable involved as well, because it's coming down here. So these will need to be positioned a bit nicer than what they are right now, like I say. And then as it comes to the back, I have ordered a fitting, so there'll be a 90-degree to go in there. This is not as nice as I thought it was going to turn out at, but I'll have to do a semicircle out of the cover and a bit of a semicircle out of there. Then I've got a rubber grommet that'll fit the whole lot, but I'll get that on there. But yeah, nice to get some new fuel lines in it. They do all need fitting in, obviously, for now. But it's been a bit of a long day today. I've been at work all day in the bakery too, so I think we're going to call it on this one. Thank you for watching. If you've made it this far, we'll get the other side of the fuel lines done. We're just trying to get quite a lot done this week. What we're now Tuesday now, so we're trying to get fuel lines in the car, seats, intercom, and the fire extinguisher bottles all mounted in and all plumbed up, and as much as we can and get inside the car finished really, and the glass back in. If we can get the glass back in, it means I can get all this stuff on top of the car back in, with the door panels and stuff like that. But yeah, that's this week's jobs anyway. So if we can get that sorted, we've pretty much broke the back of it then. And then it will be things like going through this fuses and stuff for this centre panel, and stuff like bonnet pins and stuff like that, and then the new steering wheel to get on and stuff like that. So thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you on the next one. If you do want some flapjack, it's thewildbakery.co.uk. Here's the advert.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, go.